You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to The Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, April 13th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
Your local mortgage experts bringing in studio each week the best of the best in our area so that we can connect you with them for all your financial needs. If you're hearing our show at a different time of day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to connect you with our guests. They can answer any questions that you may have. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, first time that she's visited us, we have Tamara Stangeby with Windermere, full-service real estate in a discount service era, asking your agent for more, not less. Tamara, so excited to have a conversation with you today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Tina.
And a little bit about Tamara. Tamara is the principal at Stangeby Estate Services, and she brings a wealth of experience in both real estate brokering and personal property appraising. As a realtor with Windermere, Tamara has expertise in pricing, home preparation, marketing, and negotiations. She is also a certified stager. As a member of the International Society of Appraisers, she is uniquely qualified to assist with all downsizing needs, including estate assessment and liquidation. Her appraisal and consultation work cover a wide range of including art and antiques, as well as collectibles and general household items.
Tamara, so glad to have you on the show. What a nice surprise. We closed a transaction together, a very successful one. So I'm so glad you're here with me.
And then
Tina.
she's just here now in studio because I invited her. I didn't even know you guys worked together.
Small world.
Yeah.
Awesome. But we're really glad to have you.
Thank you.
Can you speak to our listeners a little bit about why it's important to hire a full service agent when you're selling your home?
Yes, absolutely. So, I think everybody realizes that selling your home is a big project with a lot of moving parts. And the whole idea of not having full service, of discounting some of those pieces is just scary.
Yes.
So, I have a feeling that the reason that some people might think that's okay direction to go is because they really don't realize what's involved with full service, or they really haven't gone through the process and understood everything that's involved in a real estate transaction. So that's one thing I wanted to come and speak to today, and then also speak a little bit about some extra stuff that you could be asking your agents, because there's a lot of wonderful, talented agents out there that not only would do full service, but have other kinds of skills and things that they can help you with that go beyond the normal full services.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about purchasing anything, there's a discounted service for everything. Mm-hmm. And I like to use the example of, do you prefer to buy your clothes at Target or do you prefer to buy your clothes at a department store?
Right.
So it's the same thing. Discounted service discounted price equals discounted service, no matter how you look at it. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about what does a full service generally entail?
Right. So full service generally entails, and this is what you should be expecting from your agent. I'm going to kind of go through in pieces and try not to get too detailed. I mean, we'll be here forever. But you start with assessment and preparation, and that's a huge part of selling a home, and a huge part that I think doesn't get fully covered with a lot of agents, especially discount agents. So you'll do a walkthrough. You will go through with them, determine what kind of repairs need to be done, what kind of upgrades need to be done. Cosmetic is huge. Mm-hmm. Presentation is everything in real estate. Mm-hmm. If you've got the pink toilets and the shag carpet,
they will match Noemi.
Do not call Noemi a pink toilet. That's not. Good Lord. Jeez.
Yeah, so that's something to address. It doesn't always mean that you're going to change that, but going through and really doing an assessment and getting a game plan together is one of the most important pieces of the real estate transaction. You can expect that your agent would be willing to schedule vendors and be there and help manage that whole process, because that can be a very overwhelming process for people getting their house ready for the market. Another piece of that assessment is going through and looking at the stuff in the house. What's going to go? What's going to stay? Mm-hmm. Are they going to stay in the house? Is the house going to be vacant? Is there furniture that could potentially stay for staging? In that process, you're going to lay out a whole staging plan. What's the process? We'll talk a lot more about staging later, but staging is an important piece of the process, and so you got to kind of figure it out from the beginning. How is that going to work? And then in that beginning piece too, you're gonna pull title, and you're gonna start addressing any needs that need to be addressed during that initial consultation.
Yeah, I always say the work really starts once the transaction gets in the process to close.
I couldn't agree more. Most people fail to acknowledge all the details. I mean, from the furniture, people don't think about that. They're just like, sell the home. But like, that's your life in the home, and there's a lot that comes with it. So good thinking there.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so discount services, we're all aware of, kind of that model right now on all ends. Not even just in our business, but everybody's got this big box thing that they're trying to go for. What do you think discount services generally cover?
Well, so discount services, I didn't completely, I want to kind of go through some of the other things that I think you should expect your full service to do first. So pricing, of course. Pricing is vital in this market, absolutely vital. You need a comparative market analysis and a pricing strategy. You need a full market overview, and you need to understand how your home fits into that whole marketplace. Marketing is huge, and presentation is everything. I feel that you should expect staging and a staging plan, and that you should expect professional photography.
Yes.
Both of those are huge because we know houses sell online. Houses sell because people see the pictures and they say, yes, I'm going to go see that house. So staging and photography is everything that should just be part of your full service agent's duty. And then high-end marketing materials, signage, flyers, home books. There's all kinds of marketing materials, creative ways to really get information out there. And then all of that information needs to be channeled through the right channels. And these days we know that's online channels. Yes. So the MLS, the appropriate websites, social media. And then there's the whole open out houses and interacting with potential buyers and interacting with other agents. There's a lot of communication that goes on in that marketing piece. And you should expect that your agent is going to go full force with all of that. Of course, there's a whole piece of negotiations and contracts and communication. Your agent should fully explain all the contracts. They're legal documents. They're very involved. So you need to make sure that your agent can sit down and thoroughly explain, because these are there's a lot that goes into that contract, the contingencies, everything that goes in there. You need to understand it before you sign on the dotted line. And then negotiation and guiding you through pricing, earnest money, multiple offers, which we know is a huge deal these days, the inspection process, the appraisal process, and all the contingencies. So you need to expect that your agent is going to help you through all of that process. And then finally, there's closing, which you are familiar with. But it's very important, as you know, that the agent be in communication with the lenders, with escrow. Lots can happen after the contract is signed. And oftentimes bigger issues that need to be taken care of during that process.
So I bet the answer of the discount service, it's easier to say what they do than what they don't do.
Right. Well, in terms of discount services, they're all very different. And I'm not going to name names, but they're all very different in their approach to how they discount. One of the biggest issues, I think, with discount agencies is that they tend to divide up the tasks. So their model is to get as high a volume as they potentially can. So they're kind of setting it up like in a mechanical type of way, rather than the more traditional way of having the agent be responsible for everything that's happening.
Yes.
So all the stuff that can potentially happen in a real estate transaction, if you're dividing up all those tasks and you don't have somebody that's there 24/7 there, and I literally mean 24/7, things can fall apart. And so that is a huge issue, I think, with discount services and needing full service as for full service agent. I have some stories. I don't know if we have the time for it, but I sat there last night and I was just thinking of like some of the crazy stuff that's happened to me through the years. One thing that came to me was last year I had a situation where the sellers believed that they had a brand new sewer line, and so we used it in the marketing. It was fabulous. We got somebody in contract. And by the way, the company that did the sewer line told them everything's good. You're completely good. You have a brand new sewer line. So we got into contract, and they did a sewer scope and came to find out it was all brand new up to a section of it that was out in the street under the street.
No way.
Yikes, that could be so expensive.
Oh my gosh.
My golly.
So that's when you need somebody on the
need
phone
somebody, yeah.
and really doing the
Exactly.
negotiations, really working it out. I mean, it was a detailed one to work out, but we worked it out and the deal went through.
Yeah.
Another kind of crazy one that I had, this probably was the most dramatic one I ever had. This one was a house that was on septic, and we had they thought their septic was absolutely fine. We got into a contingency agreement, had the septic inspected, and the septic failed. And in that situation, that means that your entire drain field needs to be dug up. So their entire front lawn was dug up while we went on the market.
Oh,
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, and so we had to explain, but you're going to get a completely brand new drain field, and work that process through. So, there's a lot that can go on, and you need somebody there. You need those personal 24-hour, 7 days a week
Attention
services.
to detail, really going out that extra mile. So obviously you're without a doubt a full service real estate professional plus. So I'd love to hear about the plus. In addition to the standard services that you would expect from a full service, what other things do you do for your clients?
Yeah, so in addition to the full service, I actually am a certified stager and a personal property appraiser. So I'll talk about the staging a little bit first because that's a little easier to wrap your head around. I think everybody pretty much realizes how important staging is in our market here. You walk into any listing and it looks beautiful.
Yeah. And I think any market, if you want to get top dollar, you've got to spend money to make your house look good no matter what market you're in, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Effective staging sells homes faster and at higher prices. It's just a fact. Yeah. So it isn't decorating. It's going in. It's actually neutralizing the environment, creating a beautiful environment that potential buyers can see themselves living in. So the important piece there is getting rid of the clutter, just setting the tone so that people can envision themselves living in the home.
Yeah.
That emotional connection they get to
exactly.
it, right?
Everything's
That's the
emotional.
whole thing. What kind of staging do you see that works the best?
Yeah, so it really depends on a number of factors. The area that the house is in, the style of the house, and the price point of the house is going to determine kind of what direction you go. There's lots of ways to do staging. I can use sellers' items. I can use some of their items, bring items in, or we can start completely from scratch and bring everything in. Again, the key is just to declutter, get all the personal stuff out of there, and make it feel attractive to buyers.
Okay, Tamara, as we wrap up our time together, I think it would be really important for the listeners to know, what does a personal property appraiser do?
Yeah, so at the personal property appraiser, think Antique Roadshow. They are people that they analyze the value of personal property. So I analyze both the value of homes and of personal property. Similar to the way that you would analyze the value of a home, with personal property, you find the appropriate markets, and then you get comparables, and you find a value based on those comparables. This service is really very valuable for people who are downsizing and selling both possessions and a home. Generally, these people are very overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. So I'm able to go in that initial walkthrough and assess the value of their items, direct them to the best markets for selling, and even broker them. And I can also help completely liquidate an entire household of belongings if that's what they need.
Yeah, that is definitely some extra skills that you have that majority of agents do not have. It was such a pleasure to have you here, Tamara, for the first time.
Thank
Look
you so
forward
much,
to having
Tina.
you come back.
Thank you.
And that's it for our show. This is Tina Mitchell, your host, signing off for the day.
And Keelan Harvey, your co-host.
We'll be here next week, same time, same place, right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. Have a great weekend, everyone.